Planet Zoo has been rated E10 by the ESRB for crude humor, mild blood, and mild violence. It has been approved for all players aged 10 years and up. Hey there, folks. How you doing? Welcome back to the Greensborough Zoo. This episode is going to be a little bit different because we're not going to be adding any animals, or at least we're not going to be adding any animals that aren't already in the zoo. Ooh, loud music. Okay. Let me adjust this some. Settings. Mute it? No, I don't want to mute it. I want it reduced. Much better. Okay, I don't mind the music. I like the ambient music in the zoos, you know. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do some housekeeping in this episode. We're going to see about training staff members, making sure we have enough of each kind of staff member. We're going to call out some animals, you know, make sure that there's no chance for overpopulation or inbreeding. Make sure that there's enough facilities for the guests, you know, drink stations and bathrooms and shit like that. And generally just make sure the population of the zoo is thriving. Maybe even do some decoration or some pre-build work for the next habitat, which I still am thinking maybe jaguars, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, let's see if there's anything that needs taken care of immediately. Conceived offspring. Okay, the hamadryad baboon is pregnant. We've got new baby fire salamanders. Bongos are fighting for alpha status, so let's go check this out. We have too many males, probably too many males. Bongo. Yes, too many males. Okay, we're going to put these two on birth control so that they don't end up breeding with their brother or their father. We're going to take Usaini here, and we are going to release him to the wild. That should end the fighting. Otherwise, it's, you know, it's looking pretty good. How are the animals taking it? This is Fabio, who's one of the Okapi. A little constrained for space, probably because there's a lot of animals in here. All right. Sophia's had babies. She's in the Herman's. Yeah. Okay. This young lady who's in this tunnel right there. See her? She just had some babies. That's cool. But what we're going to do here, because look, social health and the exhibit needs work. Let's call the keeper to get it clean. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go through, excuse me. We're going to go through the animals that we have and make sure that they're at the right number, they're not overcrowded and things like that. Okay. We do have an aardvark. Juvenile in the trade center, right. Let's do this. Habitat and exhibit, yes. Surgery, quarantine, escaped, in transit. But get rid of all the trade center animals. That way, only the animals we actually have in the zoo will show up. Okay, let's do this again. What do we got? Yeah, I know that, but I don't want. Damn it. Any. There we go. Now let's try it. Okay. Porcupines. Okay. They seem to be doing okay. They've got enough room. They've got enough. One male, two females. I should probably get rid of the younger female. Let's release her to the wild. African leopards. We have 3 juveniles, a male and 2 females. I expect that the minute that Asim here gets old enough, he's going to challenge his dad. So we need to be alert for that. Okay, we have some elderly infertile penguins here, and we need to see about making them comfortable in their old age. So we're going to go ahead and rehome them. That way they don't die in front of the guests. Okay. We do have a lot of African penguins. I'm putting them all on birth control. And we got a lot of adults here. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Those 3 and 1, 2, 3. Those. Well, all the males are going away. I'm only keeping those 3 females. And I know that, these animals are, they're adaptable, and you can put like 90 of them in a single habitat. But what I want to do is control the possibility of inbreeding. So let's go to the market. African penguins. Looking for 3. Well, looky there, 3 males. And of course, the second one's going to do that delay thing that they always do. I can get the first one and the third one for like in a second and a half, but the second one always takes a little while. All right. I send these 3 gentlemen to the zoo. Let's say penguins are over here. There we go. Okay, which animal's next? And what we're going to do is we're going to slowly weed out the juveniles as they mature. What's the matter with Malady? Welfare. Group size is too large. Right, okay. It's call a keeper in to get the habitat clean. African spurred tortoise. Looks like they're doing all right. We'll put the juveniles on birth control as usual, so we can get rid of them when they age out. Their habitat's doing well. It's well received. Yeah, this is a good one. Okay, very little needed to do with them. So let's move on to the next animal, which is the Eldebara giant tortoise. They seem to be doing all right. Got plenty of room, and I've given them birth control because otherwise these guys, surprisingly, these guys breed like rabbits. Giant centipede, probably overcrowded. Yes. Okay. So let's see. Well, this is a terrarium species, which means inbreeding is not a problem. So we'll keep that one and that one. And we will quick trade the rest of them. Exhibit 109. Giant. This is the other thing that I'm doing, making sure that I cover things that I thought I'd already covered. Giant centipedes. All right. Okay. American bullfrogs. And like the centipedes, it's a case of they're crowded. So. There we go. Oh, and look, instantly, it's all green. Every once in a while, you got to go through and do this kind of thing. Okay, these two seem... Well, she's old. He's old. I probably need to replace him. In fact, I think I'm going to. He is elderly. So we're going to release him to the wild, and then we're going to get another male. Ooh, he'd be cool, but he's too expensive. We will send him to the zoo. All right, here we go. And they're even approximately the same age. That's a good thing. Okay. Whoa. Let's go ahead and rehome the elderly Bentarong. We need a female. The one we have left, Curson, is 4.4 years old. What's 40% of a year? A little under 6 months. Curson and Bulan. Do we want to keep those names? I like those names, so we're going to keep them. We have a little bit of a crowding problem with the boa constrictors, so we will get rid of the extras. Which reminds me. Okay, we don't have any stored animals in the terrariums. Okay, good enough. We've already taken care of the bongos. Capybaras, they've been having babies. We will put all the juveniles in birth control lest they decide to go to town on their mom or their aunt or their sister when they become an adult. We're also going to keep watch on this because the minute they become adults, they're going to challenge Dad, well, Alejandro here, for supremacy, and we don't want that. Chinese pangolin are doing well. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, they only live about 10 years, so King Shan here is almost in his last days. Tell you what, I can't rehome him, but what I can do is get another meal and put him in the batter's box, as it were. Because our boy King Shan here is not long for this world. There's not a lot we can do about it. Oh, he's in the burrow. Look at this. That's cool. Okay, too many death adders. That happens. All right, let's see. Yeah, and again, too many snakes. Let's check the exhibit market. Either of these two would have been. This one right here would have been perfect, but his listing expired. Here we go. That's better. Samaya and Salem, yeah, or just Salem. We'll keep those. Oh, it looks like these guys seriously need a population reduction. And it instantly improves their condition too, so. There's a big element of population control in this game, you might have noticed. Females, I need to get a male in there. Okay, here we go. Eastern blue-tongued lizard, and we'll just drop him right in. And then we'll go back here. We'll get the keeper to come clean the terrarium. See, you got to keep an eye on your terrariums because they will crowd themselves out. It's almost inevitable. We're going to keep the 6 youngest, and we're going to quick trade the rest of them. The Asian fruit bat's still the most popular terrarium animal, I think. Yeah. We'll call the keeper in to have the place cleaned. The fire salamanders seem to be okay. We're going to even out the population. Fire salamanders. There we go. Okay. We just added the giant anteaters and they've already had a baby. No, actually, one of them that I added to the zoo was a juvenile from a previous play. Had an interesting question. That interesting question was, Jack, do you reuse your zoos? Is that what's going on? And I'm like, of course I reuse my zoos. Think about it. This is a franchise zoo. I'm sitting here and I'm building up money, building up conservation credits. If I started a new zoo from scratch, I wouldn't have money, wouldn't have conservation credits. So what I do every time when I start a new zoo is I wipe out what I've built, put all the animals in storage, move on from there. And if that means I have a couple of million in my pocket to work, well, that's, in my opinion, that's just smart gameplay. It's why this zoo is in year 463. I think it originally began, God, I can't even remember which franchise zoo it began as. All right. But yes, I do reuse the zoo. All right. Where is this guy? Hey. Forest scorpions. They don't need it. They're still doing pretty well, but I'm going to get rid of most of these. Okay, where'd they go? I do not know. All right. Depopulate the snails. That takes care of the Gila monsters. Huh. We're gonna need a new male green iguana. Sorry this is taking so long, but as I've previously pointed out, some of this stuff is pretty boring. I know that several of you have gone, no, we want to see this kind of stuff, and I'm like, but do you really, really, you know? I mean, I'm willing to do this on camera for you if that's what you really want. But one of the reasons why I was doing nothing but animal habitat builds is because, to be honest, I find this boring. Of course, it is playing the game. Okay, those guys are fine. You know, it's part of gameplay, so I can't complain too loudly. Alright, let's see. Herman's tortoise, Indian peafowl are not in the zoo yet. Komodo dragons are. I've got 2 adults and a whole bunch of juveniles. I'm going to put those on birth control because yowzers. And they're going to start fighting the minute they grow up, so I need to keep an eye on those guys. Breed habitat species. Breed 9 new habitat animals of rare species, and I have. So we'll collect that reward. There at least 100,000 cheetahs. I don't have cheetahs in it yet. Okay. We're going to go ahead and release her to the wild now that she's matured. Ah, and remember what I said? We were trying to reduce the number of African penguins. Most of them right now are juveniles, so as they mature, I'm going to send them out into the world. The penguins do seem to be happy. And it's popular habitat. So let's see. We get rid of the 2 elderly ones. The rest of them seem to be doing all right. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. These guys are studiously individualistic animals. They don't like crowds. That by R, we're going to rename him. He's going to be Roy. Or Toy. We'll make him Toy. Why not? Since I can't seem to hit the R key. When she gets here, we're going to name her Cora. Feathers are overpopulated. Like we've seen with a lot of the reptiles, especially the ones in the terrariums. What do we got? Not enough space, and their food, they don't like the food. Okay. Oh, for crying out loud, I know what this is. There is a constant bug. Watch this. It's a constant bug that for some reason the climbing space just doesn't register. But you see, all I had to do was literally click on it and then click off of it. And the bug went away. ATM 62 is broken down. Right, well, let's get a mechanic assigned here. While we're at it, we'll check on vending machine, the soda machine. Here we go. Okay. Not. Wait. Do I have an open water source in my raccoon habitat? Probably. I do. It's right there. Oh, don't tell me. Okay, we need a water filtration. That'll work. That should clean up the raccoon's water. I've already changed it so they're going to get better, better food. Let's get a keeper in here to clean up the place. Okay. Almost done with these. Hold on. Okay, the rattlesnakes? Yeah. You don't want more than 2 rattlesnakes in your rattlesnake terrarium. I believe that might be it for the animals. Nope. One more. Okay. Yes, I know, Logan. But I promise I've improved the quality of your food. All right, let's see what else we need to look at. Guests, energy, hunger, and thirst. Okay, I've given them lots of park benches to sit down on and rest on. So, there's only so much about that I can do. Food and drink. I don't want to crowd too many together. That's the thing. We got a couple of stalls here. All right, guys. I may just have to expand more. Crime. Let's see. Education board has been vandalized. Let's replace it. Trash cans vandalized. Replace those. Let's check our staff. Okay. The vets are all doing okay, and they're keeping up on their work. The keepers seem to all be doing okay, and they're also not. I mean, for some reason, Carolina here is working harder than the others. Okay, these are my educators. I don't know why Newton is working harder than the others, but he is. We'll get him trained up to 3-star status. Heavy workload. Interesting. Now the thing about these work zones is they cover the entire zoo. So if they distribute the work evenly, nobody should be overworked. And of course, you can get swamped with vendors because you get a free vendor every time you buy a food shop or a souvenir shop. Where's Nathaniel here working that he's so overworked? Oh, look at that. Yeah, the crowd is terrible. I think you're complaining a little much there, Nathan. All right, the staff looks like they're doing pretty good. The zoo itself seems to be running well. One last check, see if we get anything I need to take care of. Okay, Cybella, the African penguin, matured. We will send her to the wild. Shigu Fatsu, that is his name. He's getting released to the wild. Well, Ketlo is getting released to the wild. Bachamello. All right. And that takes care of our housekeeping. Thank you very much for bearing with me. I know it took a long time and I know it was kind of boring, But I will do one of these, since you guys are asking for it, I will do one of these videos where all I do is play the game and don't build anything. The plan right now is still for jaguars. I don't know where I'm going to put them yet. But that is still the plan. I mean, it is possible. To do other things, but, you know, Beard's tapir. We've got the centipedes already. Tapir, tarantulas. Hey, we could build a sloth habitat. Oh, hey, here's an idea. These are just the South American animals that I'm putting where I'm putting them. We're going to have to put otters in here just to make Allison happy. Longtime viewers know of my cousin Allison and her obsession with otters. I try to make her happy by including otters in every one of the zoos because she does watch my content. She is one of my biggest supporters. I love her to death. One of the most interesting things about her and our relationship is that there is enough room between the two of us. In the roster of grandchildren for our common grandparents, my cousin Allison and I share grandparents. In that roster, I am the oldest of the cousins, and she is the youngest. And when she was born, I was 34 years old. So there's enough room between the two of us that I could easily be her father. And there have been times when she's come to me and asked me for advice. You know, what should I do? Why did this happen? How do I respond to this? How do I fix this? Not only has our relationship seemed like one that was based in a parent-daughter relationship, but I'm basically stepping in for her father, who is unfortunately elderly. They had my Aunt Phyllis, my Uncle Terry had Allison very late in life. And now Allison is like, I don't know, 28, 29 years old. And, younger than most of my kids. And her dad is in his 70s. So she comes to me a lot of times just because I understand what she's going through. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this housekeeping episode. Next episode should be another habitat build, and it's probably going to be jaguars. And I'm thinking just using this big space in here. So anyway, thank you very much, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
There's a solution, you could be a part of it. There's a revolution, you could be the start of it. Better get a move on while there's still a chance of it. If there's no improvement, this could be the last of it. Nature was a haven, now we need saving. No more conversation, time for cultivation. We all got a part to do to help the world pull through. But you gotta build a zoo. This is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. The forest protected shall prosper, the forest neglected shall die. You've an aptitude to change attitudes, cause we have to prove it. That planet to grab your shovel. There's work to do, the world's in trouble.